Welcome to another video, guys. This video is going to be looking at Windows 11, the new version of Microsoft's operating system. In order to download the latest version of Windows 11, you will need to download the preview version. And in order to do that, you will need to be registered with the Windows Insider program. Now, this is something you can sign up to using your Microsoft account. What you need to do is, once you've registered, you sign in, and you will then be taken to, well, first of all, you register. As you can see, you go through step 1. Once you've registered, it takes you to this page called Start Flight or Start Flighting, and it gives you some instructions here, and it also gives you the ISO link, or the page to go to download the ISO link. So you can click on that, which then takes you to this page here, which is where you can download your version of the Windows Insider Preview, Windows 11 Insider Preview. So you scroll down to the bottom of the page. As you can see, they've got a number of previews available here. You've got the PC OS, you've got the Internet of Things Core Insider Preview, the server version, and a few more down here. So you scroll down to the bottom of this page, you select your edition. So in this case, I'm going to go with the beta version of Windows 11 Preview. Click on that, and I'm going to say confirm. And I will say the language. So you select your language. For me, obviously English UK. Say confirm. And then the only obviously available version is the 64-bit. So that's the version I'm going to download, and we'll be installing that on a virtual machine. So click on download, and as you can see now, the download has started. That's going to take me several minutes to download. Hopefully once that's finished, we will then move on to installing the operating system, or using the ISO file on a virtual machine, and exploring Windows 11. So we've downloaded the ISO file, the image file, and now I'm going to install it on my VMware workstation as a virtual machine, just to see how the installation process is, because I haven't installed Windows 11 before. So I just want to see what sort of processes, I guess, if anything, is different in terms of installation to Windows 10. So I'm going to browse for my ISO file. My ISO file will be in my let me just grab my path and just paste it into here. This is where I've downloaded it, to my Windows 11 folder. There it is. I've also downloaded the IoT version. Not sure why they called it Windows 10 Insider Preview. I think that unless they've made the IoT version is Windows 10, whereas the latest, obviously, operating system version is the 11 one. So Windows 11, let's click that, open it. So you need to open, obviously, your file wherever you downloaded it. If you're using Workstation, then obviously you can follow along here, but if you're using a different virtual machine, then just load your ISO file as you normally would. So click on next. It's Microsoft Windows. I'm on version 15 of the VMware Workstation Pro, the VMware Workstation software. So Windows 10 is the highest I can go to. I'll select Windows 10. It shouldn't notice the difference, because this one doesn't go up to Windows 7, but I'll call it Windows 11. And I shall save it on. Let me just go to my location where I normally save my VMs, and just paste this location in. Right, so I'm just going to paste that in. And once you've selected your location to save it, just click on next. It contains an existing virtual machine. Let's create a new folder called Windows 11. Alright, and we'll keep it in there. And we'll keep the disk size as 60 gig. That's perfectly fine. So I've got 2 gig of RAM, 2 CPUs, 60 gig of hard disk, and that's absolutely fine. I'll click on finish. So the moment of truth, let's see what it is like to actually install Windows 11 and the experience of installing it. Will it be the same as Windows 10, as Windows 7? Let's have a look. So let's boot that up. Got our virtual machine booting up. Oh, need to press a key before. I should have pressed. This is where you've got to be a little bit quick. So I've got to press a key, press enter, or any other key so it can boot into the ISO file, which is technically, it's like similar to putting in a DVD, but just on a virtual machine. So we've got the Windows logo, standard. We're going into the Windows boot environment. Language is fine, so I'll click on next. This looks pretty standard, looks exactly like Windows 10, so nothing's changed here. I'll say install now. In fact, let me look at the repair options, see if there's anything different in there. So this looks exactly like Windows 10 again, the interface, so troubleshoot, and we've got the exact same menus, nothing's changed here. All this is usually available in your Windows 10 boot up. Let's go back. So now that we've seen that, apologies for the diversion, let's quickly reboot. And once I reboot, let's boot into it again. So nothing much really changed in that sense. In the, I guess the first portion of the startup, it's all pretty much business as usual, looking the same. Here we are, language. Let's try this again. Install now. Same navy blue background with the white text, which is the standard for Windows 10. I am going to say I don't have a product key, so I'm going to skip that. And we get a variety of versions of Windows 11. So let's see. So I'm going to go for Windows 11 Pro. Go with that. Accept the license agreement. And I'm going to say it's a custom install. I'm going to install it on my 60 gig disk. Click on next, and the installation process has started. So we'll be right back as soon as this completes. But right now it looks pretty much the same. This is the pretty much the standard installation GUI or installation interface that we'd normally see. I think all the way from Windows 7, Windows 8. Certainly in Windows 7 you had these sort of colors for the windows here, and then Windows 8 and 10 you started to see the backgrounds blue. I can't remember if Windows 8 was yellow, but you get the blue background. So this looks pretty much the same, and the progress bar again pretty much still the same, nothing's changed there. So let's wait for this to complete, and then we shall be back in a moment. Excellent, we are done. So that looks pretty much the same. The restart option, the restart window appears. We reboot. Now we're going to boot up into our freshly installed Windows 11 desktop on this virtual machine, and let's see if anything is different in terms of, I guess, the actual operating system itself. I've seen some pictures of Windows 11. I haven't, as I said, I haven't installed it, I haven't explored it, so this is the first time I'm actually seeing this in action. But the startup looks pretty much the same. This looks like I'm booting into Windows 10. Nothing different really here, other than maybe the Windows, the icon there might look a little bit different. But yeah, it's pretty much the same standard interface. The one thing with Windows is, and for those of you who've installed Windows on many occasions will know, is it takes a while after you boot up and you've installed the operating system, and you boot it and you reboot it for the first time for the operating system to start. It really takes a long time. It is one of the most annoying things, to be honest, in my opinion. They just say you're getting ready, and in Windows 10 you actually get other little messages. Let's see if Windows 11 gives us similar messages. But one moment, we'll only take a moment, it's almost there, you're almost done, and it just goes on and on and on, and it's the most painstaking part of the installation. Just that first setup, when you first boot it up and it's setting up, Windows, it seems like it just goes on forever and ever and ever. No other operating system does this. You don't get this with Linux, you don't get this with Mac OS. Here we are, just a moment. There it goes. So yeah, you don't get this dragging on for eternity with other operating systems. I'm sorry to say, Windows, this, you know, I'm sure there's a lot going on in the background, but it just seems like it's forever. Let's see, we're booting up. Here we are. We get the first page. Interesting. Now this is definitely different. So, yep, a massive change from Windows 10. That first setup screen, or the first setup wizard, when you're first setting up your device, definitely looks, absolutely revamped, completely recreated. The colors different, the images are different. So let's click on yes. Yes, I would like English. There we are. Even the spinning icon is different. I like the small globe with the aeroplane. And I think they've tried to simplify it. It's looking more like a tablety type of operating system, which maybe kind of indicates they're following in the steps of Apple, where Apple have come up with their new Big Sur operating system. Looks more like it's geared towards iPads and tablets, as opposed to the actual laptops and desktops. Interesting. So, yep, the keyboard, United Kingdom again. Skip the second layout. So the steps are pretty much the same. It's just the interface is changed, which is looking different. So checking for updates. All of this was obviously available in Windows 10. It just looks different in Windows 11. Whether this is going to stay and be a permanent thing, I don't know, because obviously this is a preview version. But so far it looks nice and sleek. Let's just see how it looks on the desktop itself as a desktop device. Okay, to name the PC, let's call it Win 11. Keep it simple for Windows 11. And here we go. It just goes on and on and on. For goodness sake, just a moment. Almost there. You're nearly done. Windows is the only operating system that I've experienced this in, and it's the most annoying thing. It's just it's like a never-ending. You're really glad to get to the end of it once it's all done and completed. And this process, I think they need to optimize a bit more. It's rebooting again for the third time. So I haven't created an account. Just a moment again. For goodness sake, this is Windows. You need to sort this out. I hope this hasn't become stuck in a loop. And this is VMware Workstation, which normally is good at supporting, all types of operating systems. So now it's asking me for more. Yeah, so for more information, which it could have done just before it rebooted. I don't know why. They asked me for, language and input and things like that, and then to name the PC, and it rebooted. Then it's asking me for this information now. How do you like to set up this device? All of this is normally done with one hit within Windows 10. You don't need to reboot several times and get asked various questions. So that's definitely a change in Windows 11, because in Windows 10 you don't get asked some questions, reboot, and then answer some more questions. That doesn't happen. So I'm going to say for personal use anyway, just to move on. Personal use, click on next. Right, now you're going to ask me for my account. Okay, so I don't want to set up a account. I don't want to use a Microsoft account. So what I'm looking for is an option to use a local account. Sign in option. Offline account. There we go. Because I don't want to sign in with my Hotmail account or my Outlook account. So it's suggesting that I use an online account, a Microsoft one. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to skip it for now. So again, it's geared towards, it's sort of, they're heading in the direction of Apple, where you're signing with an Apple ID and so forth. But even with Apple, on an Apple operating system, with when it's a desktop or a laptop, you create a local account. and then you can join it to your domain later on. So my name, let's just say AJ Labs. Oh, if I can spell. Password, it's going to be my super secret password, and just confirm that again. So again, Windows 10, you would have done this all in one go. It wouldn't have rebooted. I mean, pet's first name, AJ. Let's just be random. City I was born, AJ. And childhood nickname, AJ. Oh, I'm just trying to skip through these. So it's certainly a slightly different experience. I don't want to turn on location services. There we are. And I don't want to turn on Find My Device for now, but if I had a laptop or a tablet device, then that would probably be useful, or a mobile phone. Accept. No, just required information only for diagnostics. I don't want to use a pen. Just say no to this. No. And we're almost there, folks. We are nearly there. Windows, it is just so painful to install because you have to go through all of this, and it takes time, and it reboots, and it tells you you're almost there, but it never seems to get there. It's now checking for updates. Meet Windows 11. Okay. So it's downloading updates. It seems like this is an automatic feature, which is a part of it that you can't really ignore or you can't avoid or skip. And it says maybe 30 minutes or more. Wow. Yes, so there you have it. I mean, I'm yet to go into the operating system and talk about that, but this is just the installation process. This is, and you're experiencing this with me. We are going through the installation process, and you can see already just installing Windows 10 was slow enough. Now Windows 11 seems to be even more slower. You know, you get asked certain questions, it reboots, asks you some more questions. Then after that, it starts to download the updates. It's a preview version. What are you updating? Anyway, so let's wait for this to finish, and then we will then hopefully most, you know, I wouldn't hold your breath, but I'm hoping we will get to logging into the operating system. Okay, finally, it's still getting ready. It's getting things ready for you. After all that, this might take a few minutes. After it took a few minutes and some more. So, yes, this interface certainly is brand new. And it's telling you not to turn off your PC. Why would you want to do that? Why would you turn off your PC in the middle of all this waiting? I mean, you most probably want to throw your PC out the window right now. Or just throw it under a bus. This is absolutely crazy. The amount of time it takes just to install Windows on a standalone machine. And now Windows 11, to be honest. My opinion of this so far is it's definitely taking longer than Windows 10. Windows 11 has just you know, made Windows 10 look silly in terms of the amount of time it takes to install on a standalone machine. I'm installing off of an ISO file, right? The ISO file is plugged in. If I just quickly show you here, where's my VM? Windows 11, right? So here we are. Where is it? VM, removable devices, right? Here we go. DVD. So the DVD, right? This DVD drive is what I'm using to, which is where I attached my ISO file. So it's just like if you're booting off of a DVD drive or USB drive or whatever, just a standalone machine. Imagine you want to install this on your laptop at home or your desktop at home. This is how long it's going to take. And they keep saying it's almost there. Ah, good grief. Finally. by now, you know, you would have thrown the entire computer under a bus or out of your balcony or out of the window, or oh goodness me, unless you smashed it up with a hammer, because it just takes so long. An operating system should not take that long to install when it's standalone. I'm sorry, that is just atrocious. Windows, Microsoft, may I say, absolutely atrocious. You need to optimize that process and make it much quicker, much simpler. Any additional setups and things that need to be configured, leave it till later on, okay? The installation, make it smooth and quick. That's what everybody likes. Now, let's get some Windows VMware tools installed on here. But yeah, so the first look, logged in, I'm initially prompted with this window, which seems to be, well, that was quite loud. Let me just open this up quickly. So yeah, we're prompted with this Windows, which is a search bar, right? Looks like some sort of tablet-y type of search bar. Looks like some apps on a tablet. Something you'd slide across from left to right on a tablet. And they've got their default apps on here. Things that I guess most people use. Solitaire has still not gone away, right? So yeah, and then the account that's logged on and the power option. You've got your taskbar down here, which looks very simple. It looks like they've really cut back on the desktop features. I mean, the coloring isn't that, you know, flamboyant or glamorous as, you know, as Windows 10 was, where you had the dark theme and you had the you know, the blue Windows background. Very, very simplified. So settings. In fact, let's not go to settings. Let's go to the start menu. That was the start menu. So you're prompted with the start menu straight away. I do apologize because this is the first time I'm seeing this myself. So that is how the start menu appears. You click on your start menu and this search bar appears. So they've definitely cut that back. Let's see what other options we have. We've got a little arrow down here to go to our next page. And we've got File Explorer down here. I'm surprised they haven't put File Explorer up here, because File Explorer is something people, you know, normally use. I know you've got it down here on the taskbar with your Edge and the App Store, because they want you to download apps, and they're promoting, you know, as I said, they seem to be following in Apple's footsteps with Apple's App Store. But compared to Windows 10, this start menu looks very, very cut back. You know, so if we click on our File Explorer, first of all, let's see what we've got. We've got the standard quick access shortcuts that are pinned. We've got our OneDrive if we want to sign into that. This PC to show us, you know, our hard disks and DVD drives and the other bits that are attached. Anything else that's attached to the device. Oh, but I do like that they've changed the coloring. We used to have the yellow folders, the standard yellow folders that look like this. I can see they've given the icons a makeover, which looks fairly nice and sleek. It seems, even though it looks simplified, it does look slightly better, color coordinated. So yeah, Microsoft Edge recycle bin, desktop is nice and clean. Let's see what background themes can we change this? Display settings, personalize. Let's personalize this and see what we've got. So we've got a number of themes to apply. So we've got the standard one, which is the, what is this, some kind of a rose, a flower, I don't know, with, you know, in blue. And then you've got it with black as well. So that gives you the black background, which kind of makes it look like a watered down version of Windows 10, cut back version of Windows 10. Then we've got this theme here, which looks okay, same, pretty much just the background's changed. Taskbar seems to be the same. Sunrise. Okay. Right. Just is it 6 themes? Yep, 6 themes in total. You can choose which one you like. I am going to go with, let's see what this one looks like. I'll go with the dark mode theme there. Yeah, then you've got some apps along here. I guess it's the apps that are installed, apps and features, installed apps. So far I've got Chrome. What have I got? Calculator, camera, Cortana. I've never really used Cortana, to be honest. I hate these voice activated tools, but yeah. Feedback Hub, Films, and TV. Just your standard apps that usually normally come with Windows 10. So nothing much there that's changed. Microsoft Teams preview seems to be there. Right. So that looks pretty much standard in terms of apps. Accounts, if you want to link your Hotmail account, obviously I'm not signed in, so I'm just going to leave that. I'm not going to log into that. Time and date, just the general stuff. So the settings menu looks also like a kind of a cut down, more sleeker version of the Windows 10 settings menu. Gaming, if you want to connect your gaming devices, accessibility options, privacy and security, and then Windows updates. So yeah, the settings menu looks pretty much as it was in Windows 10, but just a little bit, looks a little bit more streamlined. Then you've got your App Store. What have we got here? Chat. What's this chat? I've never used this chat here before. Is this Teams? Stay connected with everyone. Microsoft Teams. Yeah, let's leave that for now. Quit that. What else have we got here? Widgets. You can add some widgets and start using our widgets. I guess things like the weather and calculator and little widgets like that. And here is to switch between desktops. Interesting. So they've added, I guess, the desktop icon along here, and then you've got your search bar and your start button. Very, very cut back, very streamlined, very sleek, simplified. To be honest, for me, slightly too simplified, which might be a good thing. I don't know. I need to get used to it and use it a bit more. But definitely a massive cutback from Windows 10. Massive cutback. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know what else to show you here, unless there aren't any further applications. I'm going to install Windows. What am I talking about in Windows? I'm going to install the VMware Workstation tools just to optimize the virtual machine. That's all this is going to do, is just add some additional optimization in terms of screen resolution and performance and things like that. But overall, nothing really exciting from Windows 11. Yeah, I mean, once in an enterprise environment, you would obviously build your reference image customized to your enterprise, your organization, and then roll that out or push that out to all of your enterprise devices. But on a standalone machine, honestly, installing Windows 10 was painful enough. Windows 11, oh my goodness, Windows 11. You've just witnessed the process with me. Yeah, the process of waiting and waiting and waiting, the never-ending waiting. Anyway, I'm just going to reboot that. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Please share, and I hope to see you in the next video.